go. The first question we got, let me make sure these are by subject. First one we got is 6.643/16. 6.643/16. And let's see what it looks like. First of all, is it a test question? Is it one that I would put on a test? Yes. Okay, somebody tell me, what method of graphing are we going to use? Method 1, method 2, or method 3? That means I want y'all to respond to me and communicate. Okay, y'all not going to talk to me? Method 1, method 2, or method 3? Okay, we'll just sit here until somebody eventually says something. Because I know I went over it.
I'm trying to recall the different, like, I know how to do it, but I don't remember the different, like.
Well, I gave y'all the methods in that sheet.
Right.
Which one does it look like?
Method 1.
Method 1. Tell me why. You are correct, Miss Williams. Tell me why. What words tell you method 1? 2 words in the directions.
Graphing?
Anybody?
Oh, wait.
I'm sorry. What? 2 words. Start
Plotting
with P.
Plotting
points. Okay, so I don't know why y'all don't know that, because I told y'all Friday that the word plotting points is the key word. Coordinates or ordered pairs. Evidently, y'all didn't write it down, or you didn't watch the video. One of the two. I don't know which one it was, because I told you that Friday. Y'all have to excuse my abruptness. I've been watching Bar Rescue. How many of y'all have seen Bar Rescue before? Anybody?
I've watched it.
Oh my gosh, I love that show. He just tells it like it is.
I'll watch it for hours.
Oh my gosh. He calls them lazy. He calls them stupid. Because have you seen some of these people that run these bars? Oh my gosh. If you ever feel depressed about yourself and you feel like that you're the dumbest person on earth, watch Bar Rescue. Anyway, all right, so plotting points tells us method 1. Okay. What is the prerequisite for method 1? Y has to be what? Okay, everybody look on your sheet. It's got right below method 1.
Y has to be by itself.
Thank you. Is Y by itself? Yes.
Yes.
Another indicator of method 1 or method 3. So you have 2 indicators that tell you to use method 1. 90% of the time, I'm going to use -2, -1, 0, 1, and 2. Parentheses -4, parentheses -4, parentheses -4, parentheses -4, parentheses -4. -2, -1, 0, 1, and 2. What's -2 minus 4? Does everybody hear me okay?
It's -6.
Okay. I'm sorry, but some of y'all are acting like y'all are not part of the group today, or what? Okay. -1 minus 4 is what?
-5.
I appreciate you, Miss Grindle. Appreciate you communicating.
No problem.
0 minus 4, -4.
-4.
And you should see a pattern. -6, -5, -4, -3, -2. Let's check the last one and see if my pattern works. 2 minus 4 is -2. So that's right. So you draw your handy dandy graph. And I plot those points. -2, -6. -1, -5. 0, -4. 1, -3. 2, -2. Now, of course, with your homework graphing utility, you can just pick 2 points. Okay. Now, I hope that people are not, I hope that the reason you're not interacting today is because you're just tired or, you know, because everybody should have those notes. Y'all should be telling me all this stuff just by reading the notes. That's why I'm kind of confused on why you're not saying anything. Doesn't make any sense. So click, and I'm going to clear this one. And I'm going to pick 2 points. 0, -4. And 1, -3. And there it is.
Cool.
And that is a test question. Who's got a question on that one? Now, why do I show y'all this method? Why did I use 5 instead of 2 points? Because when you get later on, you get to a problem like this. Y is equal to x squared, which is a curve. You can plug in those 5 numbers and you can do the math. You'll have 5 points. All right, next question. Next question is 6.6, 61 / 22. First of all, is it a test question? Since this is only one section and since there's only one test for this one section, chances are all these are going to be test questions. Graph the equation using the x and y intercepts. Somebody tell me which method.
Should be the second one, I believe.
Second method. Because it has x and y intercepts. That is the giveaway. And the big thing about the intercept method is y is not by itself. That's the second indicator. So you got 2 indicators to tell you method 2. The directions tell you to use x and y intercepts. That's method 2. And y is not by itself, so that tells you to use method 2. Draw a big graph, a big table. 3x is equal, oh shoot, I messed up. Hold on. The x-intercept, y is 0. The y-intercept, x is 0. Somebody tell me, is that true 100% of the time? Yes or no? If I want the x-intercept, y is 0. If I want the y-intercept, x is 0. Is that true 100% of the time? Yes or no?
I want to say yes, but
Yes, it is. And if you look at your method 2 notes, it has it highlighted or circled, and it says, or it should say, you know, all the time, or it should be highlighted on your notes that I gave you. So if you're in marketing, you're in economics, you're in business, you're in biology, chemistry, physics, if you want the x-intercept, you plug in 0 for y. If you want the y-intercept, you plug in 0 for x. 3x is equal to 6y plus 6. 3x is equal to 6y plus 6. If you notice, I put the letter right below the what?
0.
Right below the 0, so that way you can't mess this up, even though some people will. 3x is equal to 6 times 0 plus 6. And 6 times 0 is 0. 0 plus 6 is 6.
Divide by 3.
Divide by 3, and x is equal to 2. And that 2 is going to go right there. 3 times 0 is equal to 6y plus 9. What's 3 times 0? 0.
Oh.
How do I get rid of a positive 9? Take it across the river. How do I get rid of multiplying by 6? Y is equal to negative 3/2. This one's going to be hard to graph. I don't know if you're going to be able to graph it with that 3/2 unless they've got it divided or graduated up into halves. 3/2 is 1.5. So let's see what they have as far as graph. So graph. Got to clear it. Graph.
Hey, before you clap that, I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
On the y-intercept one, should it be plus 9 or plus 6?
I have no idea where that 9 came from. I apologize. Thank you for communicating, Miss Goodman. You could have communicated a little bit earlier, but that's okay.
I'm
That's
sorry,
supposed
I was
to be.
trying to figure out what was going on.
It's just my medication, I guess. I don't know. I have no idea. I have no idea where 9 came from. I apologize. Maybe it'll come out with less of a, that's supposed to be a -6. There we go. I got -1. How's that? Is that better?
Yes, sir.
That's a whole lot better to graph, too. Thank you again, Miss Goodman, for the communication. You're going to have a nice office, you and Miss Grindle, one day. So 2 and 0. And 0, -1. And there is your graph. So let's go plot those points on the do-jigger. So 2 and 0. And -1. And that should be your answer. Good test question. Y'all ever go through a stop sign and wonder if you stopped at the stop sign? Or have you ever tried to call somebody and it rings 3 or 4 times, and by the time the 4th ring comes around, you forgot who you're calling? Well, I have no idea where that 9 came from. So I guess, like I said, it's my medication that I must have took it too late this morning. Delete. This is 6.675 / 27. This one says, use the slope intercept. Somebody tell me which method is the slope intercept. I went over this again Friday.
I believe that is the 3rd option.
Method 3. Good job. What else tells me it's method 3?
The fraction.
Nope. Good try though. Why?
Y is by itself?
Y is by itself. Y is by itself, method 1 or method 3. And in this case, I do say that method 3 on your sheet, if you look at method 3, I don't have it in front of me. I usually tell you that whenever you have a fraction, method 3 is the best if you have a choice. In this case, you don't have a choice because it tells you to use method 3. So by the slope intercept. So what am I going to do first? Well, first I'm going to write it down. Y is equal to -6/7 x minus 2. Get out my highlighters. I went out and bought new highlighters. They're the same color. I mean, there's only like 4 different colors of highlighters. I wish I could get more. Maybe I need to look them up on Amazon and get different color highlighters. All right, so I'm going to highlight the yellow. I'm going to highlight orange. And I'm going to highlight green. So what did I just highlight? Well, my y-intercept.
Is this the
It is-
y2 minus y1 over x2, x1?
No, that's when you calculate the slope. We don't have to do that. That's the other type questions that are those last 2 pages.
Oh, okay.
There's the slope right there. So 0, -2. And I'll highlight that orange so you'll know that's where I got the -2 from. B, my trace line is going left to right down because of the negative. Left to right down because of the negative. And then my vertical over my horizontal is equal to 6/7. And that is my vertical over my horizontal. So, take my handy dandy graph, draw me a big old graph over here. Take my orange marker, plot my y-intercept. Take my yellow marker, which is really light. I'm going to use a highlighter type yellow so you can barely see it. Draw me a trace line. A lot of people say, well, Hubert, how do you know where to draw it? I just draw it through the dot, and I draw it at a very 45-degree angle-ish, if that's a word. And now I take my green pen and I pick a vertical and go up 6, or what is it, 6? Go up 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and to the left 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I always get asked, how do you know where to go, Hubert? Well, that's what the trace line is for. If I go up here and go to the right, there ain't no trace line over here. Trace line's over here. That's what the trace line's for if you ain't figured that out. So go down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There ain't no trace line over here. Trace line's over here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And 3 dots. Now I don't have graph paper, so mine's a little bit off, but you get the point. And that's your line.
Cool.
Now this is where people get programmed. They get programmed. The teacher that taught them in junior high or high school didn't teach them the right way and didn't teach them about the trace line. And they get all confused when you put that negative with that 6/7. They don't know which way to go. The negative in science and math, accounting, economics, what does positive and negative tell you? Direction.
Right.
Negative tells us left to right down. So let's take this to the handy dandy. Let's go here. Let's erase this one. I mean, it could be right. I don't know, but I'm just going to go ahead and. So my point is at 2, 0. And I'm going to go up 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And we feel good about ourselves. Method 3. Next homework question. Y'all just learned so much. 6.6, number 81. 6.6, 81 / 29. First of all, is this a test question? So far, all these are test questions. Determine the equation for the graph. Okay, this is your last 2 pages. Last 2 pages of your notes. Okay, last 2 pages. He gives us they give us 2 points. 0, 2. That's that 1 point down at the bottom. And then 2 and 7. So let's look at what we got here. Now, what I mean the last 2 pages. Well, hold on a second. I'll show you. For some of those people that are lone wolfing and don't know what's going on, go to your files. .6 handouts. And the last 2 pages right here. Graphing and slope. Oh, it's last 3 pages. I'm sorry. Last 3 pages. Okay. So this is, and what Ms. Grindle said a while ago about calculating the slope, this is all on the last 3 pages. So if you haven't printed these out, which you should have done last week, then you have no earthly idea what I'm talking about. Lone wolf. Do your own thing. Get behind. All right, let me get everything back to normal. Where I was, I gotta get my TV. I need to get me another TV for my income tax money. Get me another TV screen. Have y'all like all across here. All right. Shut up, Hubert. Which way do we read?
Left or right?
Left to right, unless you're from the Middle East. Let's see, how would I say it?
So it would be what, 2 minus 7, and then.
Well,
0
we're going to
minus-
label them first.
Okay.
Left to right. X of 1, Y sub 1, X of 2, Y sub 2. Now, the two formulas that are on your notes that I gave you, slope is equal to y sub 2 minus y sub 1 over x sub 2 minus x sub 1, which is parentheses minus parentheses over parentheses minus parentheses. And I told y'all last week that I have several degrees. I have running water and I have most of the teeth in my head. So when you come up to me 10 years from now and ask me to find the slope, I'm going to use those parentheses. And I've got several degrees and most of the teeth in my head. But some of y'all don't need them. Blows my mind. Y'all don't need them. Even if I give you a negative or a fraction or a decimal, you don't need them. You're beyond that. Yeah. 7, 2, 2, 0. Plug and what?
Plug and chug.
Plug and chug. And you get 5 over what? 2. So our slope is equal to 5 over 2. Now what do we do? Well, we got to find the equation. And the other formula, and I'm going to highlight this formula, even though I did it in your notes that you didn't print out. Here is your first. That's the first formula in that those 2 pages or 3 pages I told you to learn. The second formula is the point slope equation.
So y equals mx plus b.
Y minus y sub 1. Point slope equation. Y minus y sub 1 is equal to m times x minus x sub 1. Now I want to ask y'all a question. If the equation is called the point slope equation, what do you think you need to do the point slope equation?
A point.
A point and a what?
A slope.
Point and a slope. We got the slope right here. We just need to pick out one of these points. Does anybody have any clue which point I'm going to pick?
0, 2.
Why would I pick 0, 2, Miss Grindle?
It's easier to plot.
Exactly, it's smaller numbers. So here's my point, and here's my slope. Now I'm going to plug it into the what?
Formula.
Point slope equation. Am I going to use parentheses? Yes.
Of course.
Y minus parentheses is equal to parentheses times x minus parentheses. And I'm going to plug in. What am I going to plug in right here?
You're lagging for me. What?
What am I going to plug in?
Y1, which is the 2.
I'm sorry. Hold on. X sub 1, Y sub 1. 2. What am I going to plug in here?
The 5, 2.
5 over half, 5 over 2. And what am I going to plug in here?
0.
Now, solve it for y. I'm going to go over here and write it. I'm going to go over here. That's where I have a little bit of room. And that's going to be y minus 2 is equal to 5 halves x minus 0. I distributed that 5 halves. And bring that 2 across the river. And I get y is equal to 5 halves x plus 2. I'm going to leave that on the board there for a few minutes. Whenever you're finding an equation, find an equation. That's the key words. Whenever you're asked to find an equation, you're usually going to have 2 parts. You're usually going to have to find the slope and then plug and chug into the point slope equation. Usually. Sometimes they give you the point and the slope and you just plug it into the point slope equation, which is usually an easier problem. And yes, those are 2 test questions right there, if not 1. Maybe 1 big question or maybe 2 separate questions. Okay, let's move on. I got like 4 minutes before y'all start convulsing. And they want the equation, so that's going to be y is equal to 5 halves x plus 2. And you should feel good about yourself. And the last homework today, 6.6, 97/33. 6.6, 97/33. And let's say, see if it's a test question. I've never seen this question before, so I have no idea. Let's see. Find what values of B will the line joining the points P and Q be parallel to the y-axis? Wow. That's interesting. Let me just draw a little. I'm not going to be able to finish this one because you're talking about Q is 23, 5, 10, 15, 20, 1, 2, 3, and -7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So that's point Q. And they want to know point P is 6B minus 1, -4.
You have to like solve for B. It's weird.
1, 2, 3, 4. I know that's what they're doing because they got a B, but I'm trying to figure out what it looks like on the graph. P and Q be parallel to the y-axis. So like that and like that. Well, or parallel to the what axis? Oh, I'm sorry, parallel to the y-axis. That would be this way. Sorry. Well, parallel to the y-axis means that y or x is equal to a number for it to be parallel to the y-axis. Okay, so in that case, Q is equal to 23. And P is equal to what? Positive 1. Now, they've got a thing, or B, let's say P is equal to positive 1. So that means that 6B minus 1, that's X. That's basically X. And Y is negative 4. So 6B minus 1 is equal to 1. 6B minus 1 is equal to 1. I'm going to add 1. I'm going to add 1. 6B is equal to 2. B is equal to 2 over 6, which is equal to 1/3. That's what I would say. The answer is 1/3. Let me show you what I just did. See, they said that Q.
I got 4 doing the points that you got.
Well, let's see which one. I don't know. I've never seen this question before. So here's our two parallel lines. This is P. Whatever. Let's say Q and P. I guess this is P. But we don't know where P is. Okay, so we've got to figure it out. We know that they're parallel with the y-axis. If they're parallel with the y-axis, then that means x is equal to a number. Okay? And if x is equal to a number, we know that q is equal to 23 because it's parallel. So that's 23 right there. 23x is equal to 23. And if x is equal to 1 here, then I set 6b minus 1 is equal to 1.
See, I did 6b is equal to 23. 6b, so it'd be 6b minus 1 is equal to 23 because it's saying that since q in the first point is 23, then it's saying that the x coordinate for p is also that.
Well, I'm wrong. Let me research this one because I've never seen this question before. And I'm not saying what you say is wrong, but I don't know how you get to that. I'm gonna have to research this one. So, Mr. Pack, you sent a good question, or whoever sent this one.
Out of curiosity, can you put 4 in there to see if it's right? I just want to see if I'm right.
Yeah, let's do that. Where'd it go? I'm not understanding it. I can tell you that right now. I've never seen this question before.
I was only able to do it, I think, by doing the little help thing in there.
Yeah, but the way that it's reading. Okay, wait a minute. The line joining P and Q. I didn't see that. The line joining P and Q be parallel to the x-axis. See, I didn't see that right there. That makes a difference. Yeah. All right, let me, I'll redo that one. I'm not going to erase that one. I'll redo that one and we'll do the test Wednesday. Okay, so that means the homework will probably cut off Wednesday or Friday, something like that. So y'all should be done with it just about by Wednesday. All right, anybody that came in late, hold on because I'm going to call the roll again. The rest of y'all that were here when I called the roll, you are welcome to leave, okay?